Hi everyone, Kristina here. Today I'm going to be showing you another card using that ink blending or ink smooshing technique that I showed you yesterday. And I'm also going to be using a new die from Paper Smooches. I am a guest designer for them this month for their die design team. And we're doing a blog hop today. So this is my card for the blog hop. And I'm still sort of obsessed with this watercolor smooshing technique. So even though you just saw it yesterday, you're going to see it one more time today. Hope you guys don't mind. I do love how it turned out. So I'm starting out with some Distress ink colors. That first color was Peacock Feathers, and now I'm using Picked Raspberry, and I'm just pressing the ink pads onto a white piece of cardstock that has been laminated so the surface is slick. That's just because I needed a slick surface that would clean up easily, and this also makes it so that the color I see as I pick it up is the exact color it will be when I move to my project. This is, an alternative to using a craft sheet, which is a brown color, and sometimes it's hard to see those colors when you're picking it up from a craft sheet. So I'm just using a piece of acetate to pick up that watercolor that I've created with the Distress ink and then a bit more water. The first time I used that Peacock Feathers color, I sprayed it with my mister bottle, and then I discovered that it was a little bit less messy just to pick up some water with a watercolor brush and bring water over to the ink. So this color I'm using right now is Squeeze Lemonade. You notice that it kind of got that grayish icky color at the top. That's because I picked up a little bit of that purple shade the pink and blue created, and yellow and purple are complementary colors, and they create sort of an icky gray color. So now I'm avoiding going over that pink area, and I'm only adding the yellow to areas over the Peacock Feathers. I'll add a little bit more yellow to the bottom just to add a little bit of color variation near the bottom of the card. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit this with my heat tool and make sure it's completely dry before I move on to the next step. And the thing that's fun about Distress inks is that if you add water on top of dry Distress ink, it reactivates and keeps moving. So I'm adding some water droplets using my hand. I'm just spritzing some water into my hand and then shaking my hand over the watercolor piece to sprinkle on those water droplets. I'm just shaking that board a little bit, gets the water moving, and it really wicks away that color. And then I can pick it up with my paper towel, and it looks as if I've bleached that watercolor that I've painted. It's kind of cool. I'm going to add a few more water droplets, just using my hand here. And as soon as I have that set for a little while, I'm going to go ahead and pick it up with my paper towel once again. And I just love this look. It has a really dreamlike look to it. I just think it's so fun. So I'm going to heat that with my heat tool just to dry it off. And now I'm going to do a little bit more die cutting. I'm using one of the pinked edge circles from Paper Smooches. This is a die set that came out a while back, and I just think it's so fun to create window cards with it. So I'm going to be creating a window in the center of this watercolor piece. So unfortunately, my camera, I didn't realize it wasn't filming. So I'm going to have to explain a little bit what happened here. So this is the Fringe 2 die from Paper Smooches. It's brand new this month for June, and it cuts out this really fun fringe area for you if you want to do some layered fringe or things like that. It wasn't quite as wide as my watercolor panel is, so I did end up cutting each of these dies twice out of the same color, and then I used a strip of Express It adhesive tape to adhere them together. And then now I am cutting out a little curved wave line out of the bottom of the fringe. And I'm going to do this for all three colors. That yellow color is Lemon Chiffon cardstock from Simon Says Stamp. The pale blue is, it's Sea Glass from Simon Says Stamp. And then the mid-tone blue is Audrey Blue from Simon Says Stamp. I thought these colors really complemented the ink colors that I use in the watercoloring. So I'm just adhering these together using that Express It tape. And after I adhere the colors together, I just go along that bottom edge and cut that line. Just creates a nice fun edge. So after that was all cut, I took my fingers and sort of roughed up the edges of that fringe area. This is just to get it so it's separated a little bit. Because it was die cut, it was perfectly cut as opposed to, If you were using fringe scissors, cutting scissors, those tend to curl the paper a little bit and it separates everything. But since this was a die cut and it die cut perfectly, I needed to kind of rough up those edges just to get the fringe kind of moving a little bit. So I'll put a little more of that Express It tape on top. And then I'm going to line up this fringe on my grid mat here so I can get everything adhered straight. And I'll bring my watercolor piece over and press that down on the top. So now that this area is completely done for now, I'm going to go ahead and prep my card base. I'm using some Neenah Desert Storm 100-pound cardstock. This is going to be a top folding card, so I've scored it at 5.5. And then I put a foam adhesive on the back of the watercolor panel. I put plenty of foam adhesive. I'm never shy with that because I'm always afraid my cards will come apart in the mail. So I'll just press that down onto my card. And now I'm going to work on a greeting for the card. I'm going to be die cutting the word friend out of the Paper Smooches friend word die. And on the back of this white Neenah Solar White cardstock, I've put a little bit of Stick It adhesive. I like to use Stick It adhesive for these kind of intricate word dies because it makes it so much easier to adhere them after you cut them out. So just put that on the back of the white cardstock, and then I'm going to be adhering this word onto some vellum. And I'm going to use the negative area that I die cut as a guide so I get all these letters on there perfectly. Now the reason I'm using some vellum instead of just adhering this directly onto the card is because this particular die, the word isn't all connected. It has a couple different breaks, so it's in 3 different pieces. And because of that, I wasn't able to stretch that over the area of that little circle window. Instead, I needed to put something behind it so I could have it stretch across. So I decided to use some vellum cardstock. This is just some Basil 40-pound vellum cardstock, and it's going to give it just enough stabilization so that I can adhere it across that circle window. And it just looks kind of cool because it has a little more of that translucent kind of dreamy look that's going with the watercolor. So after I had all of that adhered on, I peeled off that negative area, and then I did a little bit of fussy cutting, which I know is kind of scary for some, but this wasn't too bad actually. I just cut around the edge of the word, and then I put adhesive just on the letter F and the letter D. Those are the only letters that were touching the watercolor piece. And then I picked that up and placed it over the top of that pinked circle window that I created with that die. And that's just going to span across that area and add quite a bit of dimension. To finish this card off, I decided to take some sequins, kind of like what I did in yesterday's card, and put that over the top. I think sequins on top of watercolor backgrounds is so pretty and beautiful, and I just can't help myself. I can't help myself adding all this stuff on top. So I'm just using a bunch of different sequins, mostly kind of iridescent or moonshine ones. And that's the card for today. Like I said before, this is part of a blog hop, so head over to my blog to hop along. Thanks for watching today's video. On screen are my 3 most recent card videos, so I hope you'll check those out. You can visit my blog at kwernerdesign.com, and if you click on the link in the top right corner right now, it will take you directly to today's blog post that's part of that blog hop. So it's a great way to hop over there, see all the new products that Paper Smooches has released for the month of June, and I hope you'll enjoy. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next card video.